Hey there, my name is Terry Beatley, and I head up the Champions team. I will be making a presentation for you about X39, our leading patch at the company called LifeWave. You'll learn a little bit about the founder, David Schmidt, the CEO, who has over 200 patents, a little bit about how the technology works, and how this company has grown from $20 million in revenue about 4.5, 5 years ago, and we're getting ready to hit 1 billion. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to share a PowerPoint presentation here and we'll get going. All right, so what I like to say is, have you been patched yet? Because if you have been patched, the X39 patch begins to elevate what's called your GHK copper peptide. The patch is about the size of a quarter, and I'll be telling you more about that. When that happens, when you have that patch on your body and your GHK copper peptide is elevated, it's reactivating your dormant stem cells. And when that happens, your body begins to repair, regenerate. So let's take a look and find out more about this. Right now, I'm going to play this short video.
In a world searching for answers, one discovery is changing everything. A patch, no bigger than a quarter, built not to treat symptoms, but to wake up the healer inside you. This is X39, a wearable, light-activated patch. Designed by David Schmidt, an inventor with over 200 patents. His mission? To reverse aging naturally. This isn't science fiction. It's stem cell activation without injections, without pills. Your body repairing itself. The results? Life-changing energy, recovery, sleep, relief. And the medical world? It's taking notice. Still skeptical? Visit thisisitinfo.com. You'll find the studies, the patents, the proof. It's all there. But there's more. This tiny patch isn't just transforming lives, it's creating freedom. Because behind it is a business model built for the bold. Real people, real results. Income that scales with impact. And here's why. Because this breakthrough technology is patented and exclusive, it offers a lucrative business plan that allows you to compound your efforts. More people than ever are struggling in today's economy. You can no longer rely on your own sweat equity alone to make a living. This business model allows you to duplicate yourself and, even better, to benefit from other people's efforts. So your income no longer depends solely on you. By duplicating yourself over and over, the income potential is far greater than a conventional job, career, or profession. And you're never alone. The This Is It system gives you the tools, the path, the team. All you have to do is start. The question is no longer if it works, it's whether you'll act or let this moment pass. Will you keep waiting or finally feel your body come alive again? Will you stay financially stuck or build something that lasts? Isn't it time to start living life on your own terms? The This Is It action plan will set you on a path to live out the dreams you have for your family. Get back with the person who shared this video so you can experience the age-reversing health and the exciting lifestyle that thousands are already enjoying. This is the technology. This is the team. And this is your moment. This is it.
So this is it. A friend of mine called me in September of 2022. She knew I was dealing with some, I would just describe it as joint aggravation. And my husband had some issues as well. And it's probably one of the best things that's ever happened in my life, both health wise as well as financially, because she shared both things with me. And over the past 3 years, our life has changed drastically. So let me tell you a little bit more about David Schmidt. As you've already heard, he has over 200 patents, but David was already a research scientist and inventor when about 21 years ago, he began working with the United States Navy on a different project, but then he saw a need, and the need was helping the Navy SEALs who were doing some kind of submarine project where they would be days on end and they needed more energy. But he wanted to figure out, was there a way of increasing energy without having to drink caffeine or take stimulants, something like that. And David invented LifeWave's very first phototherapy patch. And then that patch was introduced to Coach Quick, the United States Olympic swim team coach, and he tested it, and 6 out of 8 of the women's swimmers surpassed their best swim team times. So that put LifeWave on the map, particularly out in the sports arena, all around the world. And since then, David has invented numerous patches, but our flagship product called X39 is what has just blown the company up worldwide. And that's the only patch I'm going to focus on today. And David knew that the future had to do with stem cells. So he began focusing his attention on, is it possible to reactivate dormant stem cells? Well, it took David 10 years to bring this on to the market, and $4.5 million of research and development. But David rolled out this product, and it has set the course of LifeWave to really stratosphere levels in terms of revenue and being able to reach millions of people around the world. So what did he invent? He invented what he calls the X39 patch. And I'm going to read just an excerpt from this patent, because all David had to do for the United States Patent Office was prove that when you put this patch on, for the vast majority of people, it's going to elevate a certain peptide called the GHK copper peptide. So this is an excerpt. Embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvement of energy, elevation of antioxidants, and it's a host of other things as well. So it's not a matter of if the patch works, it does. And now it's just a matter of sharing it with people and helping people understand how it works. So why does X39 stem cell activation patch work? The stem cells make up every organ of your body, your tissues, your bones, but everything you can think of your body needs a stem cell. But as you age, the stem cells become dormant. When you were born, you had or somewhere around 1 billion stem cells. That's why babies and children can repair so quickly. But by the time you're around 30, 35 years old, you're down 50% of your stem cell activity. These are your pluripotent stem cells. And then by the time you're 60, you're down about 90% of your stem cell activity. So the name of the game is to get those stem cells reactivated. So the opportunity happens by creating solutions. And so one current problem is no one knows stem cells become dormant. I put, no one in quote marks. Very few people know that. Most people have heard of stem cells, and they've heard of things like stem cell injections. And this, by the way, has nothing to do with embryonic stem cell research. David Schmidt would never do that. Another problem is so many people are struggling financially. Well, what LifeWave is doing is we can offer stem cell reactivation with the X39 patch and income generating business that doesn't require going out to take out some major loan to be able to step into the business opportunity. I'll be the first to say I did not think in the beginning that I'd be working the business and ever rank up in the company and now travel around the world. But I can say for me, we can't make any promises or any kind of income claims, but I will let you know that everything we go over here, it's been happening in my own life, and it's been a complete blessing. All right, so how does the patch work? It is a proprietary form of phototherapy. So as we go over this, I'd like for you to think of, like if a baby is born with jaundice, what does the doctor do? Puts the baby under light. If you go out in the sun and expose enough of your skin to the sunlight for a long enough period of time, there's a biochemical change that happens in your body, and your body begins to produce vitamin D. So all this patch is doing is re-emitting your own body's light back into your body. Nothing from the patch itself goes into your body. There are no stimulants, there are no pharmaceuticals, there are no drugs. It's non-transdermal, non-invasive. Pretty much the only thing inside the patch are amino acids, salt, sugar, stabilized oxygen, and a few other organic particles, but nothing from the patch goes into your skin. This is why many, many doctors really like it, and they'll give the okay for patients because it doesn't impair anything. All right. Now, what are some of the benefits of X39 that we can make, that we can come out legally and say? We're not allowed to talk about diseases, anything like that. In fact, I'm going to read the disclaimer. LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or medical condition. You will probably begin to hear people's many different testimonies out there. And but what we can legally say is that X39 helps to increase strength, reduce inflammation. That was certainly my case. Increase stamina. Again, I'll lay claim to that one as well. I had gotten to a point where I felt like I needed an afternoon nap too many days during the week. Wouldn't always take one, but I can count on one hand how many times in the past like 3.5 years that I have felt like I've needed a nap. So that's been a huge boost. Energy and vitality, mental clarity. Sometimes you'll hear people, complain of like brain fog, or I walk into a room, I can't remember why I walked into the room. This is what we're talking about: mental clarity, restored muscle or skeletal conditions, improved sleep. That certainly was a benefit for my husband, and improved skin appearance. Why is that? Because the GHK copper peptide is fantastic for elevating collagen production. And we think of collagen as skin, hair, nails, but collagen also makes up your organs. All right, so the X39 long-term results per case studies, and these studies are posted at our educational website called thisisitinfo.com. When you start patching with X39 in the first few days, it's resetting the GHK copper peptide is resetting about 4,000 genes to a younger, in a healthier state. Okay. 4,000 genes. This is why David Schmidt can make the claim it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. Number two, the brain becomes balanced based on topography, brain topography scans. You can see that within 3 to 6 weeks on some of the studies. Collagen begins increasing, and then the heart reverses age. In fact, there was one study done that I think it was 14 out of 15 people reversed their vascular age by 8 years in somewhere around 6 months. So we're talking about reversing age, not just anti-aging. And again, I want to make that disclaimer about LifeWave patches are not intended to treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any kind of medical condition. How do you wear the patch? They did the trials on the back of the neck on that bone that protrudes out, that C7. You can stick it right there, or about 3 finger widths below the belly button. However, you can really patch anywhere. It's ubiquitous. It's systemic. It's going to work, and it's going to help reactivate those stem cells all over your body. But I will say, if you had a sprained ankle, stick it right on your sprained ankle. Some people think they see a little boost when it's right on that point of aggravation. Wear it for 12 hours a day. peel it off, throw it away. Wait 12 hours before you put on a brand new patch. And the patches come in what we call a sleeve. That's an envelope of 30 days worth of patching. So 12 hours on, peel it off, throw it away, and wait 12 hours and put on a brand new patch. And what is that doing? It's giving your body time to rest, repair, rejuvenate. And you also don't want your body to get used to responding to phototherapy and then stop responding. So you want to give your body that period of rest. The testimonies of X39 are emotional and life-changing, and you can listen to a number of these if you go to This Is It info and click on the tab that says testimonies. And here's our website right there for educational purposes. There's no data collection, no sales, nothing. This is just pure raw, all the education and more than you would ever want to know about the benefits of elevating GHK copper peptide. And in fact, we even have a sub tab there for those of you who might like to read the PubMed reports. I believe we have 160 PubMed reports about the benefits of elevating GHK copper peptide. So this is at info.com. Here you can see how quickly we've been exploding since 2021 and then 2022 when the patch came out on the market, X39. And then this year, 2025, I'm making this recording November 2nd, 2025. We're on target, it appears, for hitting at least close to, if not exceeding, 1 billion in revenue. And it's because of X39. It works. We are the fastest growing in momentum direct selling company in the world. And the reason why this is so important that it's direct selling, because if the envelope of X39 was sitting on Walmart shelf or CVS or Walgreens shelf, and you walk in maybe looking for something to help you, you wouldn't understand how these patches work, and you'd go probably grab a bottle of pills for something, but you wouldn't understand. So it's literally taking word of mouth, and just like this, doing webinars, doing Zoom calls, sitting down over coffee, to the people that you love, your family, your friends, acquaintances. Literally, the company has grown to the #1 momentum direct selling company. And to me, I don't know about you, but to me, that shouts a business opportunity. Sign me up. So what's important in your life? Some people want more family time, security, travel, better health, less debt. Um, yeah, I don't know what might be your need, maybe one, two, or three of these things, if not all of it. LifeWave provides an opportunity. Of course, we can't make any claims because we don't know how hard you're going to work and other different variables, but it gives you the business opportunity. LifeWave and what we call the This Is It team, the This Is It team has a system and allows you to duplicate your efforts. It allows you to with a real easy to use system, teach all the people that you bring in to the business side of this if they're interested. So yes, they're in business for themselves, but they're not by themselves. They have a system in place that pretty much teaches you everything. The compensation plan, which I'm only going to share a little bit about this right now, but it's very simple. It's called a binary plan. Getting started is as easy as placing friends and acquaintances on what's called your right leg and your left leg, and you can earn up to $25,000 each week from the binary. And it's a simple plan. And once you go through the system and you learn a little bit about, how to use the tools and work with the person who has shared this opportunity with you, it just presents, I can't imagine a better business opportunity because we have zero competition. We're in 84 different countries around the world as of right now. That's probably only going to grow. And the products work. The products are consumable. They're affordable, and you can help people start earning income and get their patches paid for and then some. I do want to read this disclaimer that LifeWave makes no promises or guarantees regarding income. The success or failure of each LifeWave brand partner, like any other business, depends on your skills and your personal effort. You should not rely on the results of other LifeWave brand partners as an indication of what you will earn. Pretty fair enough. That's just like any kind of business. So the business launch, the first goal is to become a one-star manager. That's one right, putting one person right, one person left on what we call an advanced business kit. That gives you 300 points of volume and a 2-sleeve subscription. And you begin earning $25 a week for the first 9 weeks and more income. But we're just helping get that money that you forked out, a little bit of that replaced and more. And then the second goal is to become a 2-star manager where you've placed 2 friends and family on the left, 2 on the right. And the brand partner who invited you to this, they can go over more details with you. But we're literally talking about something so simple as this. And this is literally how the company has grown from 20 million over 600 million, and we're on the target to hopefully hit 1 billion. And a great big chunk of that David Schmidt pays out to brand partners because LifeWave does $0 in traditional advertising. We get paid to advertise and to have a business that you can duplicate. Then it doesn't stop there. We have this thing called the mentor matching bonus. And again, I'm not going to describe this in much detail, but as you rank up to the higher ranks, you can actually begin earning deeper and deeper commissions, income as your team grows and you get qualified, one rank at a time. As you can see, it goes deeper and deeper in the commissions that you can earn. Those are called mentor matching bonuses. We get paid to help people grow their team. So the deeper we reach into the team, it doesn't matter if somebody's way down 300 levels deep below me. If they're interested in growing a business, I have every vested interest to help that brand partner grow their business. Okay. And let's see, another conventional business versus LifeWave business. The conventional type of business, you have a high startup cost, high risk, lots of stress, long hours, lots of trial and error. There's a huge learning curve and there's limited earning potential. Okay, that's your traditional business model. Think about going out to maybe start a franchise. Just right off the bat, you have this huge franchise fee. Well, that's not LifeWave. LifeWave has extremely low startup costs, has no risk, okay, stress-free. You make your own schedule. We have a proven system, the This Is It team system, mentorship, just like I explained a few seconds ago, and then unlimited earning potential. And so going back up to that mentorship, like every week, for my team, we hold a business development call every Monday morning at 9 a.m. And then we offer other calls for prospects and new brand partners throughout the week. And then the This Is It team offers even more. And then every Saturday, business training with the This Is It team. So you will hear from top ranking professionals beyond myself. You're going to hear from people all over the company on the This Is It team. So we give you everything you need. The one variable is you. All right, how much does it cost? How do you get in as a wholesale brand partner? You can stick your big toe in and get what's called the core kit. That costs $295 and it gives you 3 months of X39. Obviously, if it's a husband and wife, you're going to be out of patches in 45 days. But the good news is you can always step it up to the next kit and you only pay the difference between the 2 kits and you get the difference in the number of sleeves. So we have something called the advanced kit that comes with 6 X39. And the advanced kit is what I always recommend to people who are business minded because that gives you the 300, hopefully my cursor will show here, the 300 points of volume that you will need to be a manager. Okay, then we've just added something new called the Advanced Plus that comes with 11 sleeves of X39. Now you're getting lots of sleeves of X39 so you can get patches on people, and as they sign up, give them that sleeve, and when they get their kit, they can just replace your sleeve. That way they don't have to wait to get patches. And then of course we have the most popular, the premium for business builders. So you can, that comes with 20 sleeves of X39. And so anyway, but go back to the brand partner who invited you so so they can explain more about this with you. So we have the thisisitteam.com. This is for our business builders. This is the website. It's going to answer probably 99% of your questions. So you always want to go through this if you're considering the business, and if not, that's fine. If you want to learn more about the patches, you go over to thisisitinfo.com. And like I said, we have the home tab, the patents and studies tab, and then the testimonies tab. All right. And so the time is now to make your move. Like it says, are you serious about your dream? This is hope for your future. I will share with you, I'm going to go back here to full screen. I will share that again, for me personally, in the beginning, I wasn't actually thinking about the business opportunity. I had never been involved with network marketing. I am involved with like networking. I know people across America, but I've never been in this type of a business. Pardon me. I've always been self-employed, so that work ethic, I guess you'd say, is sort of ingrained in me. But I submit to you that for me, this has been the best business opportunity. I've been able to help thousands of people, both health-wise and also financially. And so I encourage you to go back to the brand partner who invited you to this call. Pardon me, I keep losing my voice. And thank them for sharing the information with you, and let them know. I can't believe that. And let them know where you are in this, where you are. If you're thinking about starting with patches and learn more about the business, if you're ready to hit the ground running, let's do that as well. All right, thank you so much. God bless you, and we'll be seeing you soon. Bye-bye.